Hi guys! In today's video we'd like to talk you a little bit further about the Gansai Tambi Kuretake palette that I got in my recent haul in Japan. In particular, I got the standard palette, the one that it is called the set 1 palette with standard color. They are mainly primary colors, so there are reds, blue, yellow, and there is the black and white, so it's quite a basic palette. I really love how the palette are made with paper. They are very elegant and very minimal kind of style. But let's see the swatches. As a first color in the palette we have number 32, that it is a normal red, it is a very neutral kind of red. The color number 2 is the number 36, is a rose madder deep, kind of a magenta color. Then we have the color that it is called cadmium scarlet, that it is more orangey and more neon kind of color. Then we proceed with lemon yellow. Then we have sap green. Then we have viridian. Then we proceed with ultramarine, that is my favorite color for shadows, it's quite transparent color too. Then we have indigo. Indigo is a very deep blue. Then we have yellow ochre. Then we have burnt sienna. Then there is black and white. Here you can see the dry out color on paper, and you can see that they actually don't dry out completely matte. Now very quickly I show you that I try to do the swatches also in the cup of the palette. It wasn't a very good experiment because it takes ages to dry out, and also I have to say that the cardboard wasn't good to do watercolor swatches, so I prefer to keep doing in the paper that I usually use to do my paintings. And now the second palette, the set B palette, that it is a pastel color kind of palette. I really love this one because I think that it is very good, especially if you like to paint like flowers. And also there are a couple of colors inside that are very ideal to paint very light skin. Also for this one now we can see the swatches. As first color we start with the cherry blossom pink, that is a very bright color. Then we proceed with a lilac, that is a very pastel-y color that I love. Then there is horizon blue, that is a light bright blue. Then there is a cobalt blue. Then we proceed with lime green. Then there is greenish yellow. Then we have two very similar colors, natural beige and rose beige, but natural beige has a yellow undertone and rose beige has a rose undertone. Then there is Indian red, and then we can find maroon. And I have to say that these two colors are quite similar on paper. Then we have a gray, and then as a final color we have this blue-gray deep. Here you can see the second palette color after they dry out on paper, and also here you can notice some colors are not completely opaque. Now we can speak a little bit about the palette that I named as a limited edition palette, because I actually don't know if it is a limited edition seasonal palette or a palette in collaboration with some other artist, but I bought it because I felt in love for this whitish green. And here the swatches also for this third palette. I started with a shell white, and as you can see I did a little black spot in the middle of the color with the waterproof pen to see the transparency of the color. Then I proceed with ochre, go with a plum red that is with a very rose undertone, it's very cold color. Then there is this beautiful forest green, very deep but also kind of transparent color. Then we have again indigo blue, that is so dark that seems to be black. Then we have wine red. Then we have this very particular sapphire blue, that is very bright color, and it dries out a lot lighter than it seems in the swatch. Then we have my favorite, the whitish green. Then we have a yellow. a black, a beautiful warm red, very vibrant color, and finally we have a red ochre color. And then I bought a metallic single color M10 that is this beautiful gold bronzy color. Let's see the swatch of this one. And it seems a lot darker on paper when it is wet. I also would like to put some videos in which I use the color, so you can see the color in action actually. And I started with this Tonto video that you already saw in my channel, and I would like to point it out two things that I noticed as final thoughts about this color. First thing is that this color dries very slowly on paper. I don't know if it is the paper or not, but I noticed that if I use the brush that contain water, I cannot actually calibrate the quantity of water that I put in the color, and they take literally ages to dry out, so pay attention to that. I have to say that things improve a lot when I switch my water brush with a normal brush. In that case I have much control on the color. Second thing that I noticed, and you can see it in the final ice cream piece, is that this color dry out glossy. Not all the color, but a large majority of the color have a very glossy finish, but not a normal watercolor glossy finish. I think that these Kuretake are the glossier finish that I have in my collection, so if you don't like that kind of finish, pay attention also to that. And there are some colors that don't layer upon other color very well. They have this dull kind of looking in the final piece. Especially you can notice that in the white in the ice cream piece. And that's it, guys. These are all my opinions and the swatches of the Kuretake Gansai Tambi colors. I hope this video can be useful for you. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Moi moi!